telling, we're in the elevator, and I told my brother, I said, I'm not going to be able to continue doing this. And around that time, we were entertaining thoughts of doing separate solos at that time.
Sure.
And I just told my brother, I said, I think it's about time, since you're already entertaining it, you should just go ahead and do your solo. And
you'll step back.
Yeah, because I had like things on my mind, and I knew it was like time to take a step back.
How surprised were you? Because one thing, having interacted with you on and off over the years, you seem to have a very, very close brotherhood, like a true close brotherhood. Right. How often is it that Malice says something that actually surprises you and catches you off guard, and how caught off guard? Close brotherhood, like a true close brotherhood. Right. How often is it that Malice says something that actually surprises you and catches you off guard, and how caught off guard were you in that moment?
I don't think I was caught off guard at all. I think that
it's the Kansas City Chiefs
the whole time.
How would you describe him?
He was man. He felt cheated.
From one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. It's all about divisional matchups on this final day of the regular season. And we've got a compelling one.
We didn't really need to be fighting. And that, to me, brought a very unfair and uneasy feeling with Malice in particular. At that time, I feel like I was just like, man, we just gotta.
The number one food for regular BMs, huh? Okay, let's see.
Fastest way to clear out stuck poop?
Keep peddling. You know what I'm saying? Just to
keep the name out there.
Just to keep the name out there. You know what I'm saying? But I knew it. Like I knew it. I knew exactly how he felt. But that's just how we are. I think as brothers too. I don't think we're connected in a way that we don't have to say. We don't have to say much.
The show go on now.
The show goes on, but artistically, I always just felt like we were so much better.
Yeah.
My mindset was just like, we couldn't stop, or I definitely couldn't stop knowing, like how much real estate we had like left on the table. So I wonder, it was never.
As it'll be the New Orleans Saints taking on the Kansas City Chiefs.
Fans, people essentially know, spend some time following religion and your father.
Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Arrowhead. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Then was like a moral one too. Were those things connected? Did you feel like
here come the Saints for their
that
opening
energy into the
drive?
world? Did you feel like there was something unholy about what you
and while he won't admit it because his team lost the game, he had some fun in the last one.
Like, for over 400 yards.
I mean, there's no getting around it. As a QB, yeah, okay. We lost the game, but boy, that felt good playing it around. Now he's got to figure out how to do the exact same thing, yet turn it into a win.
Quite friendly with the world, and I can also say that my thing was always to go out, do what we had to do, and then come back home. Then it got to a point where on the day scheduled off, it was always something coming up, a new check, and then you guys
going to get this one across the 30-yard
road
line.
managers, and everybody's trying to make money, so you take them into consideration as well. I had to be able to live with myself at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And look at myself in the mirror. So it wasn't lining up.
This defense for the Chiefs, they were excellent a week ago in a victory over Arizona.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
No attachment to nothing. I enjoy being with my brother. I enjoy the music that we make.
Right.
This is the rap I
First down, they'll go to the ground attack.
The
They'll take
creativity
this
that we
ahead
do.
for about 4. Second
This is
down
what
coming
I
up.
enjoy.
One thing that was on my mind, because I want to get obviously to let God sort him out and kind of the specifics of this record, but as I was listening to this record, we were talking in the elevator, I'm like, decent.
He's able to take it across midfield before going
like,
out
I
of bounds.
understand structure,
So now
patterns,
first and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 48-yard line.
Because I've been listening to you for so many years. I wonder, you guys,
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever.
When you look at younger generations that don't make rap like that, are there people who still stand out to you as technical innovators,
now
even if they don't do the thing that you guys do?
Batted at the line, but he still brought it in. Bad lose yardage here, back at the 47. It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
It sure looked pretty coming off of his hand, but sometimes you might have to take a little bit off of it. That one looked a little too hot to handle.
Yeah, but off the tip, hey, they still got the catch, right?
It's amazing, isn't it? Even when it goes wrong, it turns out right.
You just sit back and just
now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long.
You mentioned Rolling Loud.
Now he'll dump it underneath.
How the fuck?
You mentioned
and he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 37. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
So you appreciate it more on an entrepreneurial level than on a
now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Pass caught, it's Justin Shorter. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
I look at guys and I
How
can
about
tell
this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool him with running plays.
You know what I'm saying?
And they're being very successful right now.
Yeah, more than
It's an emotional
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Johnson's got it complete.
Exactly.
And he'll get this down to the 10. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Second and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
And that was because of the energy, because of the
They'll
authenticity.
look to throw again. And they're going to get him. They'll bring him down to the 16.
They made me believe it. Yeah. I saw the video. I'm like, oh, I believe it.
Busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
But whatever they did in that video, I was like, I wear it from golf to the office.
Second and
I wear it
long.
everywhere. Hey guys, this is Joe Kudla, founder of Fiore.
Throw left side complete. That's Mitchell. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 of the 12. And a gain of 5. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. And so far, a very nice, methodical opening drive.
This has the feel of a scripted drive that they rehearsed perfectly all week long, and now they're executing it on game day.
Script looks good so far.
You rounded everybody up.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
I respect it. I don't
Quick throw here, that's complete.
And
He's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. And this one is right through. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead.
Like, what if we take the bottom, break out, and watch the thing fall?
Yeah.
And it still sounds good. It's just
Well, given where they started that opening drive, CD, I think to get 3 out of it, probably a pretty good start that they'll take.
I think you're exactly right about that because they just took off the effects of the kickoff and field position and took the ball, moved it downfield. Didn't pay off for a touchdown. That drive, that was really nice for them, and they did come away with 3 points.
There is a future definitely.
So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive.
Constructs it differently.
And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
That was a real thing.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams want to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw and move around and get yards with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100 plus the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
A nice burst there as they get about 7 that time on the first down run.
Said something great about
He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us he's a little ambitious. He said he wants to get to that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed him the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm.
He's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Saints 22. And big play there for KC. And even 50 yards. So I guess you'd say an unlikely source there with a big carry. It's the fullback showing that he has some range.
I'd like to get the running back next week when they review this, because he's going to be asking for tailback carries from now on.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Colonoscopies. Like, how does that make you feel? As somebody who seems to have no shortage of lyrics left.
Back to throw here.
It makes me appreciative that I still believe in what I do.
Touchdown, Kansas City. Amon-Ra St. Brown
right now.
is 11th touchdown of the year. And the Chiefs able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead.
I think it's being inspired.
Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Colonoscopies. Like, how does that make you feel? As somebody who seems to have no shortage of lyrics left.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
I still believe in what I do. I'm probably begging on.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. Partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get it.
Now this throw caught left side. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Okay, you can do this in your 20s. But once you get 30, 32,
He'll look to throw.
and also
Yourself a car dealership.
There's a straight into the tight end Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another nice game. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 47.
As the record from 20 years ago, to me is a testament that
He'll look to throw
so
here.
little to do with
Got a man, that's shorter.
It's not helping
And he was tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Be successful. BM guys can do what they do. Now their audience can be successful. That's not how it was in 96, 92.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
One shot. Already much.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
He has so much.
And he's going to get this one down to the 30. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Right now, I don't think old Patrick can.
Looking to throw.
Your
And he's caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. The drive stays alive. A 3rd down gain of 8.
Under 3,000.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
At the time, all this time off, it has been a beautiful time.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. Trey Hendrickson, the one who gets him on the ground. Now 2nd and 5.
Not only that, but as I'm sitting back and made my departure, I'm watching.
They'll look to throw.
So many
That complete.
This is unfucking
Down inside the 5.
You know what I'm saying? I see
A nice pickup
I
of
see
14,
depression.
and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
Murders.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends.
You're seeing Ricos. You're seeing sexual
They'll try and run
addiction. You're
for
seeing
it on 1st and goal. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
You get down near the goal line, you need to start lifting the help of all 11 guys on the defense. And that's a nice job there by the cornerback, squaring his shoulders and coming in to make the tackle.
Go at this thing again.
One thing,
Takes it
when I was
across
going through the old transfer, you guys referred to,
touchdown Saints.
hell, I have no few Giants.
Two good drives on the first two possessions. Remember, the first wound up in a field goal, but we all know field goals aren't going to cut it in the NFL, so they're not going to be denied here, and they wound up punching this one into the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 10-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Right in the first song.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27.
Leading into the choice to not only rap about it, but also lead with it.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive. So we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
The process of it was so hard that like, I knew that this was going to touch people. And I felt like we should get that. We should pull them in with that.
Trying to navigate life without my compass. Some experience death and feel numbness.
And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44.
The safe thing to do is make that the final
about
make that the final scramble. And it's not about our parents.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs
If you
again.
guys were going to get
We'll get this one underneath to Kamara. He's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this.
Remains of your core.
So certainly a defensive mistake here in the first quarter, getting hit with a roughing the passer call.
And that hurts not just because of the yardage you gave up and give them a fresh set of downs, but that brought the home crowd into this one. And when you go on the road, your job is to silence the crowd, not energize them.
They'll look to throw here on first down.
And my
That ball
parents, the
caught.
way
It's
that they
Rice. And
parented
finally
us, I
down he
think that's
goes
a
as they work it
narrative
inside the
that
10 to the 7. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5.
Because I think people need to hear it, and especially in our community. And it's
They'll give it to Mixon.
Didn't come
And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Second and goal from inside the 5.
Like, it's very important that we be there for our kids. It's funny because I've always seen my brother
flushed out right.
He really never played.
And he will be out of bounds here. What will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. 10-7 our score after one right here on EA Sports.
If you're not doing nothing for your kids, like, what kind of friend can you be to me?
This is going all the way back.
This is before you had this before he had a son. Like, we just knew
They've
that
been
kind of
denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal.
Like, you can't
Mixon, and Mixon not going to get there. Running into a wall here, and they'll stop him short. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look coming from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
How is parenting, or just the act of knowing that you're responsible for
They'll
these
run
lives
with
in the
Mixon.
world, how is that
He's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. Mixon unable to find the goal line on 4th down. And the Saints able to come up with a goal line stand.
Of things that I say, the things that I put out into the world. Said a lot of things I would have done, but the fact that I didn't, I still talk about it. I hear from the listeners and fans and people.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5.
Appreciate our music, how I've always painted both sides of the picture.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. So the previous play, a big help, as now they'll have it first and 10 up at the 20.
With
They'll set up to
mothers
throw.
that I dealt with, and Our kids were hungry.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, he didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
I think that's how I was.
Just past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
I think that'd be fair to say.
Bad guys with hearts is sort of the image that you two have put out. And,
now a handoff off
and
the
it
middle.
is like there's something about
edges
being as
forward, but only gets a
brash
pair of yards
as you
out of
want
it.
your
It's
music
second
to be,
down.
but then cutting it emotional drugs. As John said, you always balance that. But the other thing is that you want to live by a code. And even if you're a villain, you have to.
Oh my God!
That's something that you're like, I'm going to do.
Honor amongst thieves.
Right, I'm going to do.
And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
Yeah, that's
There's a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparations for the game.
This is fucking crazy.
Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance.
Stepping back.
There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't
I
take
think
it away.
because the way I was raised, and particularly from my dad,
They'll look to throw now on first down. Going quickly there, but it's incomplete.
So it looks like they stopped some fighting them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. If this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Yeah, the ethics of it. Because
4
that was
yards
not
the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try
Damn, y'all got that down. That's how I feel, bro.
The linebackers nowadays,
Like, I didn't get
they
to
run
lead
like
on
backs,
excuses
and they
like
take
that.
a lot of pride in coverage. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
You know, like the music.
This is unbelievable.
Like, I can say
And
everything's
he'll be brought
very
down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 34-yard line.
Like that, they got to. You were stupid. You were stupid. Exactly. My father was. My dad's birthday today. You know, like
The
you.
middle they
You
go.
thinking.
Gains.
Yeah. So
Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it second and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately, they're fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Ball at the 33, second and 9.
He's scaring me because of Freddie. And I'm younger. I'm scared. I'm crying or whatever. My dad's like,
It's a fumble.
Fumble.
And it's picked up by the Chiefs.
you know, the youngest one, everything. No, even at a young age, you better have some like.
They finally put it into this return,
You better have
but
some
not before he's
conversation.
all
You
the way
know,
down to 37.
Thank goodness for heaters up here.
I think, you know, with that being said, like,
in this game. It's
NWA,
January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits. Not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go.
It was there. And he was
And
like,
last
okay,
time,
you
they
know,
had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that
you
behind
know,
and
what
try to
it
put
was.
together
Now,
another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
Now this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do.
So, you know, for him, great. You know,
Mixon with a first down carry.
everyone else not so much.
Right, living your reps can come with risk, and you don't know how to
Pretty
navigate
little
recovery.
juke
It sounds
move
like
there
you have a
on this
healthy
game.
understanding of
It'll be a
perspective
pickup of 10
of
yards.
what's the difference
And
between
it'll be second
entertainment
and
and
very
reality.
short.
Right.
Not everybody.
Now, that was an excellent run.
Right.
And when you see that happen,
He's open to the
that's when
edge.
you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block.
Like I said, the way I was raised, I wasn't able to lean on excuses, so I never felt like I had to watch what I said.
You've got to hit the jackpot there.
Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
I don't know about you, partner, but on 2nd and inches, a lot of the times I'm worried about the offensive guys thinking about taking a shot downtown. Instead, they just hand it to the big man and let him rumble forward for a first down.
Everyone else, not so much.
Right, living your reps can come with risk. And you don't know how to navigate from it. It sounds like you have a healthy understanding or perspective of what's the difference between entertainment and reality.
Right,
not everybody else.
Right.
Listeners or performers.
Just I feel like with the whole, parental thing, it's like, man,
switch it up here and look
I
to
care
throw.
about them so much too. Like even in a sense of like never. I was raised to not disappoint them.
Yeah, well, that's what you guys have to hear.
I'm a terrible.
He was able to move around and find some vision to throw the football. How about how he ended it? Boy, he had some zip on that throw.
I avoid the bad behavior.
Butker on for the PAT.
1,000% so.
Pushover.
And that makes it 14-10.
Is that a reaction to how you're
So that drive spanned 5
My dad was
plays. And it winds up with a
I'm like, man, I'm
two-seater.
here today. My wife and my son are home. Like they're in Virginia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
I can't look at my son and get into reprimanding him about
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
right. What I'm curious about, what about you?
The Saints again ready to go on offense.
raise my
Last
children.
time
They're
out,
grown now.
remember they
My wife
fumbled
and
the
I got
football. That
compliments
led
all
to the
time.
touchdown. And Charles, they were in the red zone, so that's a backbreaker. They got to try to pick up the pieces here on this drive. He's got
My
it in,
kids
complete.
are sure disciplinary.
A big-time play there for New
But
Orleans.
to the good,
43
my
yards.
kids had
So
a
the big
awesome
play changes the
childhood.
complexion of
Love
things.
how
Here's
they
first
came
and
up,
10, just
saying
outside the
how
30.
things are. So,
I really see
They're going to
the
look to
big
throw.
brother, little brother
And that is
dynamic.
incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
at my house.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
And he's smiling. Like when we're together.
There's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. Stopped short of the 25. The nice move couldn't ultimately free him. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. These guys running back out of the backfield. And they're into the end zone, but it's not verified yet. Hold on, there is a flag down.
Was that whiplash intentional?
Yes. Yes, man. Yes. Because in creating the album, we just wanted to show that everything, and it was hard.
So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points.
Every record meant so much, and had so many different
Point
meanings.
after, right down the
deep,
middle, and it's now
and people were
17-14.
drawn to just certain
Drive
things and
there,
verses.
just 4
So
plays.
we just wanted to
And
show
it ends
that
with a touchdown for
we
New
can punch you
Orleans.
this way, we
Out
can
is the
punch you that
kickoff
way.
unit as they run
We
up
get in
and
different
send this one
colors,
away.
but they all hurt in a certain way.
And that record change would have simply been done for
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
2023,
Yeah.
when I was with you in Paris, with
Yeah.
Pharrell, that was something that I remember he played me.
KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And right now, we've got a little bit of an offensive masterpiece going on both sides, moving the football, scoring points. It's almost like somebody put the defense on rookie mode in this one. I mean, we haven't even left the first half, Charles, and we're certainly on pace for a shootout.
Excellent start for both offenses. The fans have to be enjoying this to see all these points go up on the board. As a former defender, I'm not enjoying this at all. But right now, both these teams are trading haymakers. Let's see if anyone steps up first. Can anyone counter? A nice little jab.
Ball's out.
It's been 2 years since
And
then.
this is picked up
There's
by
been
the
some
Saints.
conversation already
And they have possession,
about
and
his
they
son
have it at the
being the holdup
38-yard line.
for the release of this.
He doesn't get many opportunities to carry it, so he's got to maximize.
As far as your
In this
understanding
case,
and your
after dropping it like that, I think his number's going to go way down. What do you think?
Yeah, and sometimes those fullbacks, let's just be frank, they usually don't have the hands that the running back does.
And it's hard for them because they do so much blocking. So a lot of times, their hands actually get beat up in the process, and it's hard for them to hold on to the
Make sure
football.
there aren't any
On first down, Gaines.
Secret samples.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Since 2018,
14 yards is the pickup, first down, New
was for
Orleans.
me at Def Jam a way to censor my music
They'll
or
drop
a
the
way
throw.
to make sure I wasn't or anything. That's how it was.
For me, and your first experience with that was in the middle of your back and forth with Drake with Story of Abby Doctor.
A baby involved is deeper than rap. We talking character, let me keep it the facts. You are hiding a child in that boy.
How did that conversation go? And how did that
Well, after
I
adding
don't know about you, Brandon, but
whatever,
I often
there
think to
was,
myself, in these
there were
situations,
quite a few
I
records
want a back
that were
who can
stopped.
create his own space, who
You
can
know,
break
like,
tackles,
yo, we're not
and
doing
in a
this, or
sense,
you know, just
become
fix
his
the
own
show.
blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
My verse. Pop Smoke. But the telling part
A
was
great effort
when they
there.
get the lyrics wrong.
His first touchdown
So,
of the year.
one day
And the Saints are
I
able to
forget what
stretch out
song
their
it was, but
lead.
there was a Pop Smoke song that
Extra
definitely
point
was
right down the middle.
that had
And his
bars
guys
in it.
will take a 10-point
Yes,
lead.
but then there was another that didn't.
So that
And they
drive
thought
of 4
it.
plays.
And I was like,
and it
wait
all
a minute,
culminates in
what
a
is going
Saints
on
touchdown.
here? Because, you're interpreting something totally wrong.
Like two different songs.
Right.
And they'll get him down
Right.
inside
It's
the
not
30
like
at the
yeah,
27.
Yeah.
Message in the other without the picture.
Exactly. And that's when I knew, like, wait a minute. I was like, Steven, is this shit?
The Chiefs offense ready to go
Are you serious?
again. Last time out, they had
Right.
to
I'm
fumble
sorry.
that led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either
So I'm
side of the
like,
ball
wait
as
a
the
minute.
defense gave up the
This is
points
something
to
that's-
Charles, but
this
they've
is the
got to
thing.
take care of the
At this
football and
point,
do better here on this
you're
possession.
right, they were
It's certainly
being
been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those
about
units in there. Kind of
rapping
put their
about
defensive
another
mates in a
artist.
really tough spot there by dropping the ball.
Drake and New
An
Artist,
easy way to make it up to him.
and
Get out there
they
now,
were
get some
sort of
points on this
playing
drive.
referee. She was
First
getting
play of the
shaken.
drive
So
going for 14 and a first down.
For sure. For sure. And at that point, you said, all right, I'll keep it moving.
Now
You
a
put out Story
shotgun
of Abby
snap
Doctor
as he'll look to
SoundCloud.
throw. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side.
That happened.
And he'll take
The
this to
first
the other
game.
side of midfield before
a couple
going out of
first
bounds. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
So then, fast forward to 2024.
Fast forward, yeah.
Drake
From
and
the
Kendrick
shotgun,
do their
he'll look
thing.
to throw.
Boom. Drake files a lawsuit. Boom. You
And
play
that'll be
them.
caught by St.
Your
Brown.
new song with a
And he is out of
Kendrick verse on it.
bounds
Boom.
inside the
Out of
35.
there.
13 yards as they got the connection working. His second catch in a row, first down.
Everybody's clamoring, oh, Cloud's coming. So on and so forth. Excitement, everybody's ready. Listen, we 10 songs, 11 songs, 12 songs away. I mean, close.
From the gun to give to Mixon. And a short gain down to about the 33.
Everything's halted.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They just didn't want to put it out. They would not speak via email.
They don't want anything right.
They would not send an email.
They'll throw here.
Nothing in writing to my management.
They'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Fryermuth.
10 times.
This is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 21. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
They didn't like the optics.
A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth first half that we've seen. Running left, it's Mixon.
Right?
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
The phrase trump card.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game
Or something
imposing
like
its
that
will.
as well.
2 yards to go, second down.
Unrelated. Yeah, totally unrelated.
Just a Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you felt like they were looking for something.
Of course, they were looking for something.
The optics.
1,000%. That's my opinion. That's my opinion.
3 shocking reasons why butter belongs in every breakfast.
The reason butter is called butter is because of the beauty.
And how did you guys take that? They said either censor this verse,
Once again,
take
they
him
run
off,
with Mixon.
or what?
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard
We ignored
line.
it because it was so
It's a
crazy
3-yard
to us. Be
pickup,
like,
and that
nah, this
sets
can't
up
be real.
first and goal.
Not too many
This
more
can't be
ideal
real.
situations as
So
second
we
and 2
ignored it,
in order to
and
try
then
and pick up the
one
first
day,
down. They ran it and
I
picked it up.
believe it was Steve Gawley made the call.
The lawyer.
The lawyer at UMG was like, hey, look, I'm not
Leading the
stupid
pressure
guys.
right.
You got
And all this is taken in
changing
one-handed.
anything.
What a catch.
Drop the clips.
That'll bring up
Bush has to
2nd and
stay.
goal after the gain of 5.
And so we'll just have to move on. But that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Ultimately, we were like, yo, what's the way to do the business. Like, how can we
Damn!
buy ourselves?
This man does not want to get that touchdown.
I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have now allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They're going to take a little bit of
Big
profit
play
on
coming
this new
here. It's
outlook.
third and goal.
So here we are, 20 years later, and you're still
In the label
thick of
drama.
it with label drama.
Yeah.
Like, was that dispiriting to you when you're like, all right, I'm back, I'm ready,
The
I'm
Chiefs
good,
now
I'm
going to use
centered,
the
and
first
yet
of
here
their
I am.
timeouts.
Because I
As the
never
clock will stop with
asked.
45 seconds to go in the first half.
I'm too old for this shit.
Not even, because like I said, I'm not attached. If you
This
go
has
down,
been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal?
I mean, like, I could vomit every time I have to hear about somebody else's name in our interviews. That we can't just get music and to deliver. We're trying to
Defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want. Anytime they want to throw the football, there's pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the
I didn't
incompletion.
expect much to change. The only thing I'm elated about is, like I said, to make the kind of music that we make, and just to be arm in
Parker's kick
arm.
here is good. This is back down to a 7-point game.
But I don't like
Bush, I'm curious how you feel about that, because
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer,
and yet
that
there are
would have
still
made their decision
people who know
tougher,
your
and I
name,
think they
the
likely would have
association with
gone
the names
for
of
it.
other
But in
artists,
this
whether it's
situation, they just
Kanye,
decided to
Pharrell,
take the three, and I think it was a
great
smart move.
partnerships with over the years. Drake, less fruitful,
Getting set for
we
the
could call
next
it
drive, the New
creative
Orleans offense.
dialogue.
And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's
Sell
tempting
your
to
product,
try and add to your lead.
promote your career.
But a
Like,
mistake
you
there,
have that push
that can change things in a big
think,
way.
like,
I say go ahead,
man,
take the
am I
knee,
just never
get on
going to do
out for the
anything
half.
without these names being said? Like, does that keep you up at night?
Nah, it doesn't keep me up
They'll
at night.
operate from the
Oh, man, 'cause I
32-yard
just
line
feel like
here,
this
second and
game,
3.
when you're in the game, this is what comes with it. Anybody who's a Clips fan, a Pusha T
And that
fan,
one will fall
if you follow
incomplete.
me, like,
Clock here
this is
now, just
all
under 30
real.
seconds to go in this
All
first
very
half.
real. This is happening in
So
real
the
time.
incomplete
You get
pass
my
on the
life.
last play, and that leads us to a
If
third
I
and
say it's
3.
drama, it's drama. If I say it's drama, if I say that it happened, it really happened. I don't have it in me to lie. I don't have it. I don't care.
This is ridiculous.
He's got a man complete.
Like,
Now we get a quick timeout called
so
by
it's my
New
story.
Orleans, number 2. As
listen,
they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
But you made me pay for it. So now this is true. And you have it. And mind you, while all of this is happening, I never complained out loud once about it. I never complained how the deck be stacked
To throw again.
against me. I don't complain about verses and songs that don't
Chiefs
come
are
out.
going to get him.
Whatever.
Trey Hendrickson able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
Know that you know what I'm saying.
So we have reached halftime, and we'll get no time to waste. Playoffs starting next week. We skip right over halftime and get back to the action.
Because they know, that's
Both
not
these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3?
However, the game is played
And this return to net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
It's unfortunate, that it has to go that way.
The Chiefs ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third
Sometimes
quarter.
it's dangerous.
Brought down by
my
Willie
brother,
Gay.
he's on the road.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
First time. This is it. These kind of things is what I saw the first time.
Here's a
It's
second
how
and
I look
7.
at it now. Right now, it's just you know,
and he's got his man in stride complete.
And like, let's actually fall back, right? Just make your story.
He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5. That catch, by the way, kind of noteworthy. It's number 764 in his career. Ties him with Hall of Famer James Lofton.
And he's done it just as James Lofton did in his career.
Smooth. Mixing up the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
That's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
2nd and 5.
Travis Scott came through carrying the utopia.
They'll stay on the ground, mixing again. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 79 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Talking about the and I'm just like, man, that was a
now a play fake here on first down. That one too wide and incomplete.
Nice progress down the field is halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Like, I'm not into what
he'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down.
I took it there.
Incomplete on the deep ball.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. Like, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play in football.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
How many times we see it? I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And in for the Chiefs touchdown.
He's shameless.
Justin Jefferson with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Chiefs are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. That's one of those long drives where not only do you score, but you really tire out the defense, too.
That's a great point, because now they've been on the field for a long time. Them going to the bench, trying to make adjustments, trying to figure things out, but they'll do so fatigued.
Butker now to add the extra point. And that will tie our game here in the 3rd quarter.
He's done it to Ye.
So that drive takes him down the field with 8 plays. And it was all capped off by Justin Jefferson's touchdown reception. So a tie ball game here as the kicks away.
I've definitely had to put my hand on your shoulder before.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. After that last touchdown we just saw, Charles, we got ourselves a brand new ball game, all tied here in the 3rd as they have their first possession of this 2nd half.
And Brandon, this drive is all about one word to me, and that's the word answer. Because they're trying to answer the momentum the other offense picked up in time in the game, because not only if they score and they feel better about themselves, they'll retake the lead and maybe set the tone for the rest of the half, keeping them in the driver's seat.
You just put it in the music. So
yeah, one on first down.
So be it.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
So be it, but I want you, but you need to understand.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 6.
You need to understand what I think about him.
On the first single from this album,
they'll keep it on the ground.
Gaines
powers through.
That situation with Ye.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 17 there in the New Orleans first down.
A good run there off right tackle in old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on to the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Now it's 2nd and 10.
So
you considered it a job. You're like, I'm here.
First carry for their fullback.
Had seen it that way, or
they get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
They definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well.
But, you know,
I spoke with football when I spoke to him, whether you, what you do with that information or what you do, you know, in taking advice or perspective from me.
Firing
that's
quickly here, and that's
complete.
But, I mean, that is brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4.
It looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
It's a 47-yard field goal try from here, but instead they're going to opt to go for it on 4th down.
I'm not a person who has to sit up.
He's got his target. That's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The defensive breakdown allows a pickup of 16 on 4th down.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you look on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the nowhere to go. Here he lost the football. And one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. And at this stage in the game, sure, you wanted the touchdown. You're already in the red zone, but boy, you squandered a chance to at least get the field goal there. So no points out of this, and we stay tied.
Very disappointed team. No one more disappointed than the kicker who thought he had a chance to be the hero of the day. All they had to do is trot him out on the field. They didn't even give him the opportunity.
You know, music is where we play.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to pop a big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
We don't.
On play action, they'll throw. There's a short one taken in by Otten. He takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. First target, first catch, and a first down.
To know what's going on, and you know, my brother just we come from just loyalty to the fault. You know,
set up a throw.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God!
I just see him in the mix of.
Good to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. That'll be caught by Rice. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he gets good with steam down.
That's how you move out here.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5.
If you're a man, listen. If you're a man, only if you're a man, though. Because if you ain't a man, you in trouble.
Now back to
you
throw.
Can't move like this.
Quick hitter here, it's complete.
You gotta flip flop and kiss ass.
And he will have the Chiefs first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards.
Reality TV is mud wrestling.
Yes, it is. Of course it is. Of course it is. Kidding me?
Now that you guys are back, you guys, Pharrell, you made a lot of this album in his office, essentially.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in.
You guys are back together.
Touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs have scored again in this 3rd quarter. This time, the move out in front.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even insult the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. The 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they're looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Extra play by Butker is on target, and they will take a 7-point lead.
And yet, him and Chad not making music as the members.
Right.
Is there a little bit of something
Now after
missing?
the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
But Pharrell and Chad are not. Like, in the moment when you were ready, like, you missed Chad. had or spoken to.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
As far
Onto the
as
field comes New Orleans.
you know what I'm
They'll be
saying?
looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field and to come away with nothing. That's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive.
For me, no. I mean, you know.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field is really
unbelievable, y'all.
There is no missing in the music when it comes to the clips.
8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Can we talk about what you guys bring out of because that's like when I hear the beats on this record,
From the 41, here's 2nd and 5.
You go back to those kind of like spare, minimal, hard, organized chaos beats, right? That frankly, not a lot of other people sound.
This is
midfield.
There's so much
Finally
space in
brought
that
down
that
right
they're
at the
never
midfield strike.
And
7
especially
catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight properly run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
Usually a tight window of fire bullet in there for the completion. Back-to-back receptions for him, but it's another first down.
About y'all that puts Pharrell in that direction, and I wonder what it is about those beats that allow you to be expressive in the way.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
We don't search for sound, we search for feeling. That's how we make music. We're looking for the feeling.
We're like, first down. James. There he goes, left side.
Okay,
65 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Person that you can't.
This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 2nd and goal from inside the 5.
You don't want to look back. So, you gotta trick him into
it. In the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he will push his way forward down about the 3-yard line. And got it down to the 3, but now this is 3rd and goal.
Never say nostalgia. Never say, never bring up
and he's got it.
Oh my God.
Never bring up an old song.
Johnson from 3 yards out. And the Saints are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
Like, if you're speaking about the feeling of or something like that, you got to talk.
Extra point splits the uprights. And will tie our game here in the 3rd. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line. So a net negative there of 4 yards.
Like, it don't work like that. Like, I think what we...
Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown. So every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I can assure you, setting up a screen is much more difficult than it appears. It requires excellent timing from everyone on the offense, and the defense's #1 goal is to throw that timing off.
And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
You know what I'm saying? You can pull that, but like,
so back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
It's always for the feeling and how to turn it futuristic upside down.
Caught by Rice.
So,
and he will be marked down short of the first as they get to him at the 29.
Like right now, I'm a bit annoyed because
they're indeed going for it as they look to throw. He gets this one complete to Rice. And he is going to have the Chiefs first down as the defense couldn't come up with a big play. In fact, they got 6 more than they needed, a gain of 8 on 4th and 2. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Like, was there, when you think back on recording this album, is there a time in that space that you'll remember?
I would say everybody, while we recorded version
line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4.
Everybody in the office sewing, drawing, sketching, crying.
A handoff to Mixon.
You know, because the whole song.
And he'll get it out to midfield.
So it's like,
balls up.
Just having the conversation, having it out loud, and, you know, not being able to finish.
Here as the regular season starts to wind down. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. We're back now in KC.
And then, you know, they have
all even as we get ready to start the 4th.
Right there in the yeah, see the sewing machine.
The sketch people, the shoot people,
that long table,
the long table. They moved the pool table out for, you know, for more room. You know, it's the full workspace. That was just a vulnerable recording session, and I'm talking about.
And he's able to break out a one tackle, but then quickly brought down.
I mean, just in a sense
5
of
yards on the carry, good pickup on first down.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field, but his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
And
everybody thinking about the possible field goal on 4th. It would be 58 yards from here.
40, maybe. Yeah, 40. Yeah, I don't even know.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
35-year friends.
Someone's been having a good game so far. And you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down.
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Tough few session, yeah. And then he's kind of crazy too. So he thrives on
back to throw here.
Feeling and emotion. So he's just like,
and look caught by Rice.
You know, more. And
he has now hit number 500. Charles, that is his 500th NFL career catch.
Definitely worthy of applause, but I remember when 500 meant you were going to the Hall of Fame. Nowadays, in today's football, 500 put you on the path. A significant number.
It's in real time. So he's gonna pour the salt because he don't get out of mad scientist mode. You know, even in the mix of it.
Mouse, what about
so the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Your memory about your time in Paris?
I guess just being there, so much going on. One way.
Flush to his right.
Yeah. What the hell am I doing?
He's got his tight end flyer move right side. He can only get a yard after all that, but it's 2nd down.
But once again, it's just part of the wonderment that we've always experienced.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And they get to him quickly here as he stops right around the 13. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
It's just insane.
Just a reminder that elegant art comes from all kinds of circumstances.
That's right. And just the whole bucket.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. They'll look to throw here. Hard throw, incomplete.
fastest way to
What
clear
an
out stuff
excellent
is by
defensive
adding more
stand there in
fiber
the
to your
red
diet.
zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up fourth
Childish
down here.
commercial.
You know, just trying to take it to higher and higher heights, man. It's how I want to see it, man.
Right.
It's how I want to see it.
Unbelievable.
And he pulled it. Oh, my goodness. It's no good. He missed it. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the fourth.
25 years
What a
ago,
tough spot to miss a kick. Just an absolute letdown.
Look, they got themselves in the field goal range, gave them a chance to take the lead. They come up empty, and now you wonder, will their offense ever see the football again?
Yeah, because on the other side. And now the rookie's free.
25 years ago, piling up in cars going
He's
to
on
DC
his
to buy
way.
a Louis belt or a Versace belt.
Touchdown,
Right now,
New Orleans. His third touchdown of the game and fifth on the year. And the Saints strike quickly to take the lead in the fourth. Point after, right down the middle. And they will take a 7-point lead.
unfathomable. You know what else is unfathomable?
Those are the ones the
These
offensive
Doritos.
coordinators dream about. One play
First of all, let me say
drive
up front,
from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown.
the first thing that we are being forced to use is this.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
You're in the New York Times. So every episode of podcast.
The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. They now trail by 7 after that last touchdown here in the fourth quarter. What a big spot for this offense.
Oh my God! What the fuck, man?
Immediately drawn to what I would like to say is the most
Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And what I think of here's
That's a fucking touchdown.
their chance to score points, but the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
On second down, here's Mixon. There's just not much to be had there. To start to the drive, they were open for it. That run doesn't get them much at all.
Not losing with third yardage means you got to dial up something pretty good. Take your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
What's your go-to Dorito?
You know, I'm a food man. Yeah, I was about to say I'm a food ranch or original.
That's down the field for Jefferson.
This is
anywhere by me. He's to the 15. Touchdown.
Fuck all the shots.
Justin Jefferson. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying this game here in the fourth.
Yes, it was a touchdown, and not just a TD, but how about a long touchdown that puts them in a great position.
And now just an extra point away from tying this thing.
There's a little tad of sweetness.
The smell is there.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter.
No, towards the end. Towards the end.
You know, that's a lot brighter than I was expecting.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
There's a little lime in this.
Yeah.
It's not a lime. Yeah.
There's other notes going on.
A little lime.
I would say it's not even
So this
spicy.
one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kicks away.
Brightness up front. Really
The nigga said the
Be
brightness.
returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a
I
touchdown.
thought it was going to be just
Getting set to go again as we get it back, heading onto the field again. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards.
So we're
He
going to
was
rank it out
feeling
of 10.
good.
We can have more.
He's just zipping along today.
But
Everything coming
I'm
together.
a
It's that type of a day that you see a
Oh,
just kind of a grin on his face every time his number is called. Does he look like there will be any rush yardage plays?
I think like
Big time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well.
like obviously everything is flaming hot now. Like this is like
First
fine.
down, he'll
It's
drop
like
to
flaming
throw
hot.
it.
It's like let's
Bringing it to the right side, Johnson. Taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Oh, no, I gave it a 10.
It'll be a Saints first down on the pickup of 13.
Sandwiches a 10. Yeah.
I'm going to go.
Looking to throw.
Wow, John loves Surratt.
I'm stupefied.
And you don't like it.
This is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick down the right sideline. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
These restaurants and struggle. I think that is incredibly
game fourth quarter, that's about as big of a defensive play as you can possibly make.
And it didn't happen by accident. That was scouting right there. They've seen things that have happened before. They knew in certain situations type of plays they like to run. Read it, and were able to go after the football and take it into the end zone for a touchdown for themselves.
Every podcast number is at nytimes.com.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
We're on Instagram and TikTok. Also
and they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The New Orleans offense set to take over. And can they regroup? That's the question.
It's just so nostalgic.
No doubt that this is still a
fuck your push.
Start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
I gotta break this goddamn record.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On second down, Gaines. And for one of the few times,
what is you doing? What is you doing?
No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be
from ghetto to ghetto.
That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Out of the gun now on third down.
Man, this nigga is so low. Who is this dude?
And he works free. Still going. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A big gain of 39 on third.
Bro, we are getting smoked by this running back game.
No shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
Now a throw for the left sideline, and he's got it. And out of bounds right around the 20. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. He finds his man Johnson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be 2nd down. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal.
They eat up all this time, bro, every fucking drive.
They'll look to throw. And he's got him. It's caught. In the end zone, touchdown, New Orleans. From 8 yards out. And the Saints are an extra point away from drawing level. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. This taken in right around the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25.
Why is he so fucking tired, dude? You ain't even played the whole season.
Set to begin this drive. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. A running play there, going to get 11 as they get a quick 1st down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner.
All right, bro.
Hands inside in the chest area.
All right, bro.
Okay, you get it out on the shoulders, get it
All
wide.
right.
Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Be patient.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. Well, he steps out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 35. A big play there for KC. 43 yards.
Talk about a momentum shifter right there. Tie game, fourth quarter. These are the plays that win you games. And now defensively, the question becomes, how do you respond?
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. He'll look to throw. Open man right side is Rice. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he has to get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Here's a give to Mixon. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Again, it's Mixon. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
2nd and 10. Back to throw. And that is
hold the fucking ball.
A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure,
I'm sure I gotta win the
shows
game,
how
bro.
difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. The flag comes in. It's incomplete. And I'm not sure he was still behind the line when he let that one go. So since that last play got nothing, they'll go ahead and decline the penalty. And that forces a 4th down situation. Butker's kick here is good. And they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. Now a throw complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They're going to look to throw. He finds his man complete. It's Newton. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down. The throw over the middle taken in. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. They'll look to throw again. Got a man. That's shorter. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. Now 2nd and 4. Oh, no, he lost the
Told you.
ball. And I think the Chiefs have it. They do.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Again, it's Mixon. Ooh, with a juke. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Like these timeouts not even helping, bro. With his stamina.
So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Now Joe Mixon. And he will have a Chiefs first down. And that's the one that should seal the victory. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score. Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry. Just go ahead and say it with me. That was a
mistake,
yeah,
for sure.
Without a doubt. Because at some point, put your foot in the ground, get upfield, and get down protecting the ball. Don't go out of bounds, because when you go out of bounds, you're really just helping the defense.
Yeah, not to be too hyperbolic, but it's like giving the D an extra timeout, isn't it?
It certainly is. Gives them a chance to regroup, and it means you have to snap the ball an additional time, which always means the possibility of a mistake.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He finds his man complete. That's Rice. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
2nd and 3. Toward the pylon, caught. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. Butker on for the PAT. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
This is 1st and 10.
They'll try and start this drive in the air.
And he'll be taken down as that'll net him only about a gain of 9. Here comes second down.
He finds his man complete. That's Newton. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. They'll look to throw here on first down. It's caught inside the 25. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Kansas City,
they finished the regular season with another win. They're 15th against just 2 losses.
And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for New Orleans,
and they'll limp to the finish line a bit with a final record of 5-12.
And with some high picks coming in this spring's draft, it's a team for whom a roster overhaul may be on the way. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
They want time of possession on our ass. I really like that. Oh man, missed 100 tackles. Ain't 100 Hustle gang over here. Now that boy got 11 picks. What? Bro, I thought it was 21.